Welcome back to the deep dive, and this time we're going somewhere a little different.
Oh,
Yeah, we're gonna take a deep dive into a listener's story about the paranormal.
okay.
So this one, it really freaked me out when I read it.
All right, I'm ready then.
So imagine this: you're with two friends in Fresno, California,
Okay.
at a Motel 6,
Mm-hmm.
and it's late. It's about midnight, and you get a call from another friend who invites you to the casino.
Okay.
And being that free casino money's on the line,
Right.
you decide to go.
I'd go.
And so you're getting ready, you hop in the shower to freshen up, and that's when things start to get weird.
Okay, so what happens in the shower?
Well, the listener's in the shower, and the curtain starts moving,
Oh.
like in a really odd way.
Oh.
Like someone is yanking it open.
Okay.
At the time, they think it's just the fan or something.
Mm-hmm.
But in hindsight, it's that first unsettling sign that something isn't right,
Yeah.
you know?
It's always interesting how those seemingly insignificant details can become really important later, especially when they're kind of framed in a larger, unsettling narrative.
Right.
It just kind of plays on our natural tendency to search for patterns and meaning, especially when we're dealing with the unknown.
Exactly. And this is just the beginning.
Oh, boy.
So the listener heads off to the casino and leaves their two friends in the room.
Okay.
Fast forward to around 7 or 8 in the morning.
Okay.
The listener gets back to the motel and knocks on the door.
Yeah.
No answer. They knock again. Nothing.
Oh.
And just as they're about to turn away, they hear something really bizarre from inside the room.
Okay, you've got me. What did they hear?
So they hear one of their friends' voices saying, 1 minute,
Okay.
which would be totally normal, but at the same time they hear this other voice saying the exact same thing.
Two voices. Okay, now that's creepy.
Right. And the second voice is described as deep and raspy and just completely inhuman.
Oh, wow.
The listener's understandably freaked out, but
Yeah.
figures maybe they're just tired or something. Especially since they did hear their friend's voice in there.
Right.
So they wait a bit longer and they knock again.
Yeah.
Still nothing.
Oh, no.
So finally they decide to check the parking lot.
Okay.
And wouldn't you know it, their friend's car is there. And both of their friends are inside looking completely terrified.
Wow. That's a pretty clear sign that something is wrong.
Definitely.
I can only imagine what must have happened in that room to make them flee like that.
Oh, you're telling me?
Yeah.
So the listener gets in the car and instantly they're hit with this terrifying story from their friends about what happened.
Okay, so what happened? Why were they huddled in the car instead of safe and sound in their room?
Well, it turns out that shortly after the listener left for the casino, the friends were just relaxing in the room.
Mm-hmm.
One was watching TV, and the other was lying in bed with the covers pulled over her legs.
Yeah.
And out of nowhere, the covers start moving as if someone is tucking her legs in.
Okay, that sends chills down my spine.
Right.
That's definitely not just a draft or a restless sleeper.
Nope, not at all. So the friend in the bed screams and jumps up,
Okay.
and they both clearly see the indentation of someone sitting on the bed.
Oh my gosh.
As if that wasn't bad enough, they start to feel this overwhelming sense of dread,
Wow.
like this feeling of pure terror just washing over them.
You know that intense emotional response, like that feeling of dread or terror you described? It's a recurring theme in a lot of paranormal accounts.
Yeah.
It's not just about seeing or hearing something strange. It's about feeling a powerful negative energy.
Exactly. They were so terrified, they literally ran out of the room and spent the rest of the night huddled in the car.
That makes sense. If I were in that situation feeling that kind of primal fear, I'd probably do the same thing.
Yeah.
But what about the listener who went to the casino?
Well, this is where everything clicks for them.
Okay.
They realized that second voice they heard at the door,
Mm-hmm.
that raspy and human one, wasn't their imagination.
Oh, wow.
They tell their friends about it,
Mm-hmm.
and the three of them are just sitting there in the car, completely stunned. And then they decide, okay, we need to get out of here, but let's do it fast.
Mhm.
So they do a countdown, fling the doors open, grab their stuff, and practically run out of the motel.
What a terrifying experience.
Right.
It really makes you wonder if there was something about that particular room or even the motel itself that could explain what happened.
And here's where the story takes another turn.
Okay.
After the whole ordeal,
Yeah.
the listener decides to do some research online about the motel.
Mm-hmm.
And what they find sends chills down their spine.
Don't leave me hanging. What did they find?
They find an article detailing a grisly double suicide that happened years before in that very same motel.
A double suicide.
Yeah, an older couple had checked in, and for reasons unknown, ended their lives in a really horrifying way.
Wow, that definitely adds another layer of complexity to the story. How did it
The
happen?
details are pretty disturbing. They apparently filled a large container with acid and both climbed in.
Oh my gosh, that's incredibly tragic.
I know.
The pain and despair they must have felt, it's a haunting thought.
It is, isn't it? And the article even mentions that the cleaning lady who discovered them had to be hospitalized from the fumes. Just imagine the intensity of that scene.
It's heartbreaking, and it really does make you wonder if there could be a connection between that past trauma and the experience the listener and their friends had.
Right.
Is it possible that a place can hold on to that kind of energy, that pain and despair, and manifest it in these unsettling ways?
That's the question that keeps me up at night, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
We've all heard stories of haunted locations, places where tragedy seems to seep into the very walls. But is there any truth to it?
Right?
Or are our minds just trying to make sense of the unexplainable?
It's a fascinating question, and one that has intrigued humanity for centuries. We crave explanations, especially when confronted with the unknown.
Yeah.
But sometimes the most compelling answer is that we simply don't know.
And that's what makes stories like this so captivating.
Yeah.
They leave us with more questions than answers, and that sense of mystery. Well, that's what keeps us coming back for more.
Absolutely.